He left a $160,000 software engineering job at a Fortune 500 company to make hats in his basement. 7 years later, he's doing $10 million in annual revenue with 50 employees and a 42,000 square foot warehouse. As niche as it sounds, he's cracked the code on how to grow a boring business from your garage. I'm David. I own a boring air filter manufacturer that makes $23 million a month. I'm on a mission to show the people the way that we used to get rich. Real businesses with an impact you can see, touch, and feel are still available to anyone. This is how Robert built his hat empire and my audit to help him unlock his full potential. Here's the business model. Small businesses need branded hats for their teams. Hat Launch makes it dead simple. Custom website, order online, hats show up embroidered with your logo.
We're just hats. And our target customer base is blue collar small business America. The lawn care, the pressure washer guys, the dealerships, in any business that was open through COVID. Our average order value is $500 through a website. That's gone from over 190 when I started to now 500 today.
The genius of this business is that 40% of customers come back to reorder. It's predictable revenue. But if you think you can compete with Robert easily, you wouldn't be seeing his secret weapon.
If you're looking at our website or anything pertaining to this business, it's all running on custom code that I've either personally written myself, or now I have someone that I stole from Express Scripts under me, still writing code while I'm doing stuff like this.
Robert's software engineering background is the secret weapon. While competitors use basic Shopify templates, he built custom order flow that pushes customers to buy more. The website gamifies the purchase. Buy 24 hats, get free shipping. Buy 36, get a discount. After Robert coded this, the average order value doubled from $190 to $500 without changing the product. And it shows in how big his business has been able to scale. He just moved into a new warehouse.
This new building was 42,000 square feet, plus an additional 24,000 that I haven't even touched yet. We went from 100 heads of embroidery to like 150. So we added about 50% capacity.
Sit with that for a second. He started in his basement with one embroidery machine in 2018. Now he has 150 plus embroidery heads running simultaneously. 50 employees. He spent last year general contracting and building out the warehouse himself. This isn't a side hustle anymore. This is a real manufacturing operation. So Robert built something incredible, right? 7 years, $10 million in revenue, a real business with real scale. But here's what makes this story interesting.
Right now, still very much paycheck to paycheck, right? As the owner of a $10 million business that's 10% profitable. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I shouldn't be that way.
Robert can barely pay himself. And today, we're gonna figure out why. And more importantly, how to fix it. By the end of this video, you're gonna learn why revenue doesn't equal wealth and what actually matters, the debt trap that's quietly killing businesses around the world, the secret about profitability nobody told you, and the psychological pattern that keeps entrepreneurs broke even when they're successful. By the end of this video, I'll show you the path that I outlined for Robert that will take him from paycheck to paycheck to $2 million per year in income. Robert made mistakes, you probably will too, but the solutions are much simpler than you think. This is what boring business actually looks like. Let's go. From day one, Robert funded his growth the same way. Debt. Not good debt, predatory merchant cash advances at insane rates, and it's bleeding him dry. He's been using predatory loans to grow. It's killing him.
It's always been leveraging debt to grow the business. Merchant cash advances through either PayPal. I would take $200,000 at 10% daily remittance of our revenues to pay PayPal back. At the end of 2024, we were taking some sketchy ones to make ends meet. Last year, I paid $600,000 in interest to those things. Not this year, but last year, right?
Let me explain to you how bad this is. $600,000 in interest on $8.4 million of revenue. That's 7% of gross revenue, gone before he touches operations. Merchant cash advances are legal loan sharking. 10% daily remittance means they take 10% of every dollar that comes in until the loan is paid back. The math is that you borrow $200,000, pay back maybe $240,000, but it's structured so you're constantly taking new ones to pay off old ones. This is why he can't pay himself despite $10 million in revenue. He's on a debt hamster wheel. Robert thinks he solved the problem by consolidating the loans, but he just swapped one bad debt for slightly less bad debt, still paying $400,000 a year in interest. And now he's beholden to lenders who control his decisions, cap his compensation, and force him to justify every equipment purchase.
At the start of 2025, we partnered with basically $4 million at 8 to 10% rate and consolidated it down into this one loan. And it's like $33,000 a month towards interest. And then starting next year, it goes up to like $50,000 a month. I am bottlenecked at paying myself $200,000 a year. And I want to make more money than that. If I take more than $50,000 in a quarter, like if I need to personally, I have to explain to them why I did. I had to go to bat for my business and explain to these people why I need these machines, where before I just bought them because I knew I needed them. To have to like tell someone else why I need them really aggravated me. Just bought 4 12-head machines. That was $560,000. Tried to go to a bank to get it, and the bank says no. And then this leasing company will basically give me another 4 machines tomorrow.
This is a classic debt trap. Use debt to grow, then you need revenue to service debt, which means you need more debt to grow, and you repeat that process forever. But I see a way out.
If you really want to achieve your personal goal, then you have the business that will allow you to do it.
Yep.
But it's going to require maybe growing a little slower and being okay with that to stabilize your situation before putting yourself in the position of earning the right to grow faster. If you could just get out from under that, then that's another 5% of net income that you're putting in your pocket. You're just on this roller coaster because you haven't actually chosen to take the time to really get a handle on it. You're sitting on a potentially great business. This type of business should probably be running at 20% net margins.
Get to 20% margins, get audited financials, prove the business is sustainable. Here's what that actually means. For the next 6 to 12 months, Robert says no to new equipment purchases, no to new hires unless someone quits, no expanding into new product lines. He focuses on one thing, making the existing operation more profitable. That means negotiating better prices on blank hats, optimizing production schedules so machines aren't sitting idle, and potentially raising prices another 5 to 10%. Boring? Yes, but this is how you get banks to take you seriously. Look, I'm not Dave Ramsey. Using debt to grow your business can work. I did it. You just need to get a reasonable loan. Once Robert can stabilize his company's finances, he can shop with real banks and get a new loan at 5 to 6% interest, or about $240,000 a year in interest payments, instead of 8 to 10% at roughly $500,000 a year in interest. That interest savings alone is $200,000 a year straight to his pocket. No new revenue needed, but it requires Robert to do something he's never done. Say no to growth opportunities. This is boring. This is hard, but this is the only path. If you're enjoying this video so far, head to the link in the description and see if you'd be a right fit to be a guest on Boring Money. Robert's targeting 10% net profit next year. Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong. He's completely investing in the wrong things. $1 million per year in profit sounds great until you see this.
We just want to do $12 million at 10% net profit and end the year with just cash in the bank. That's all I'm setting it at. We are spending 20% of our revenue on marketing. We make 10% on 20%.
Robert thinks 10% is ambitious. It's actually low for his business model. He's comparing himself to nothing. No benchmark, no comparable companies, just feels good. This is the trap. When you don't know what's possible, you settle for what feels hard.
This type of business should probably be running at 20% net margins, not 10%. You should be producing $2 million a year where you are today. 20% on marketing is not a lot, honestly. Your goal should be to be running your business so that you can get 20% net income while spending 20 to 30% on marketing. You actually don't have a sales or marketing problem. That seems to be what you're good at. You actually have an operational and finance problem. But if I came into your business, I would not spend any, I'd be like, okay, Robert, you're 100% on you got the marketing thing. We're just going to focus on finance and operations. And then magically in 6 months, you'd be like, oh, wow, I can grow a lot.
Here's what Robert doesn't see. Marketing is already working. His custom coding and high lifetime value is great. The engine is there. The missing 10% isn't in better ads, it's in operational leverage. Let me make this concrete. Operational leverage means 3 things for most people, Robert included. Number 1, buying power. If he's buying 500,000 hats per year and he negotiates even 50 cents off per hat, that's $250,000 straight to profit. Number 2, production efficiency. Are those 150 embroidery heads running at full capacity? Every percentage point of increased utilization is found money. Number 3, pricing power. Most businesses can raise prices 5 to 10% and nobody blinks. On $10 million in revenue, that's $500,000 to $1 million in additional gross profit. That's where the missing 10% lives, not in Facebook ads.
I just need to move my goalpost from 10% being me okay with that next year to 20%. We did do a price increase several months ago, and every time we've done it, it hasn't really affected anything.
I genuinely believe every single person watching this could raise prices or cut costs by 5 to 10% and nobody would blink. For Robert, 20% net profit on $12 million is $2.4 million. Here's how that money flows. He pays himself a $400,000 salary. That's his W-2 income for doing the job of CEO. Then the company has $2 million left in profit. He takes $1 million a year as an owner distribution. That's his return on risk and ownership. And he reinvests $1 million back into the business. That's cash in the bank for equipment, growth, or emergencies, without adding a single new customer. We just took his take-home pay from $200,000 a year to $1.4 million. Here's what explains everything about Robert. He's doing this to himself. He keeps creating financial stress to keep himself going. It got him here. It's keeping him stuck. He admits he needs pressure to perform, so he keeps creating chaos.
I require external pressure to stay motivated and keep things going. And that's one of my downfalls in the business. It's like, I can automate the shit out of this thing and it'll run great where it's at right now. But without external pressure and things breaking, I can easily just fall into this hole of like, okay, it's just doing what it's supposed to. I don't have to do anything now. My personal finances are complete garbage because I just overextend myself through vehicle loans to own cars that I shouldn't have. My wife had recently rented me a Lamborghini Gallardo to drive through the mountains in Colorado. And I was like dead set. I'm like, okay, I've wanted this car for over 10 years now. I'm going to buy it. How much money do I need to make a month to cover a used Lamborghini Gallardo car payment? I already had like 4 cars, like Corvette, BMW, Ford Lightning. So it was on top of all of the cars that I'm already paying for. I had a $20,000 single head, and then I just got a $45,000 6 head machine. My first daughter was born the same week that giant machine showed up.
You're doing it on purpose, whether you know it or not.
This is Robert's operating system. Create pressure, perform, relieve pressure, get bored, create more pressure. It shows up everywhere. Car loans he can't afford, equipment purchases before revenue supports it. The financial stress isn't a bug, it's a feature of how he's wired. And it worked to get him to $10 million. So why would he change it?
Every one of these growth phases, it's been constraint on people, equipment, and space. This is who I am at this point, like just building things, whether it's building a car or a business or a process. It's just so fulfilling for me to have these problems happen and just like hunker down and conquer it.
Every time you say, we're only focused on this, but we just did the opposite yesterday.
The pressure system got him here, made him resourceful, scrappy, willing to bet on himself. But past a certain scale, this becomes self-sabotage. He's actively avoiding the thing that would free him up, stability and profitability, because it would remove the pressure. It's a classic entrepreneur trap. I've been there. He's addicted to the startup phase, uncomfortable with the scale-up phase. Every time things stabilize, he finds a way to destabilize them through equipment, debt, or new hires.
You have to have a little bit of self-awareness. Those guardrails are going to ironically give you way more freedom because you're then not going to be worried about all that stuff. It's going to allow you to do the stuff that you're great at.
External pressure. You just gave it to me. Here we go. Let's get it done.
The work isn't becoming someone who doesn't need pressure. It's finding better sources of pressure. Here's the shift. Robert's old pressure was, can I make payroll this week? That's chaos. His new pressure needs to be, can I hit 20% margins this quarter? That's the target. Same drive, different destination. Instead of buying equipment that he can't afford to create urgency, he sets a public goal. Tell your team, we're hitting 20% by the second quarter. Tell your lenders. Tell the internet in the comments of this video. Now, the pressure is external, but it's pushing you towards stability, not chaos. You're still chasing something. You're just chasing the right thing. Let me tie this together. Robert has 3 problems: a debt spiral, funding growth with predatory debt instead of profits, which was $600,000 in interest last year alone. He has low profitability target, settling for 10% margins when 20% is achievable, leaving at least $1 million on the table. He has pressure addiction, creating financial chaos to stay motivated instead of building sustainable systems. But these aren't 3 separate problems. They're symptoms of one root cause. Robert's never given himself permission to stop and fix the foundation. He's been in growth at all cost mode for 7 years straight. It worked to get there. It won't work to get where he wants to go. The plan, 2026, is the reset year. So here's the homework I gave Robert. This is the foundation anyone who wants $1 million business needs. Phase 1, clean financials for 2025. Understand your true cost structure and where every dollar goes. Model it out. What combination of pricing increases and cost optimization gets you there? Get everyone on the team committed to a margin target, not a growth target. Phase number 2, restructure as an S-Corp. Comment if you want a full video on this. It's something that I think is not maybe talked enough about. And start paying himself a real salary plus distributions. Stop taking on any new debt, no matter how tempting. Get audited financial statements. This makes you bankable. Right now, Robert's books are probably in QuickBooks, maybe reviewed by his accountant. That's fine for running the business, but banks don't trust it. An audit means a third-party CPA firm comes in, verifies every number, and puts their stamp on it saying these financials are real. It costs $15,000 to $30,000, but it's the fastest way to get a bank to trust you. With clean financials and proven profitability, shop for real bank financing. Refinance that $4 million loan at lower rates. Get out from under capital's control. Then build up 6 months cash reserves. Now, Robert has earned the right to grow again. With healthy margins plus a bankable business, he can invest in that sales team. With financial freedom, he can focus on what he's great at: marketing, brand partnerships, and building.
I honestly just know, like, having those marching orders and knowing that taking the goalpost from 10 to 20 and out, it honestly makes me feel better.
But you know it's doable.
Here's what's on the line. If Robert executes, he goes from paycheck to paycheck to $1.5 million per year in personal income. Imagine that. His business becomes bankable, scalable, and actually sustainable. He can grow without the pressure of being financial stress. And that dream of manufacturing hats in America, that becomes a realistic one once the foundation is solid. But if he falls back into old patterns, new equipment before revenue supports it, new debt to unlock growth, hiring instead of profitability, he's gonna stay on the hamster wheel, maybe forever. This is what boring business success looks like. Discipline over excitement, foundation over growth, margin over revenue. Subscribe to watch Robert's full interview where we dive even deeper into growing his business, financing, taxes, and more.